Hey everybody, welcome to the random game Unshrinking. If you're new to this channel, one of the things I like to do is to open up old games, especially PC games, but not always, to see what's inside so collectors, when they're buying these things, can know what they should expect, and also just to document, what used to come inside these old cool packages. So if that type of thing interests you, please don't forget to subscribe so you can get notified when there's more videos like this. Now today I have Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory. And most people know this as a Neo Geo game that originally was released in the arcade, but it also came out for the PC, which I think most people may not be aware of. Not all of these games came out for the PC. I believe this was the first Fatal Fury game to come out for the PC, and it was published by Interplay, which is a really good publisher of PC games back in the day, and obviously SNK as well. Again, most people are not aware that in the, mid-90s, PC was super popular, and therefore there was an attempt made to port a lot of these arcade games over to the PC as well. And you can see some of the screenshots back here. It says, it's time to settle the score, 8 difficulty levels, which I don't like, by the way. I never liked how sometimes you play a game at home and then you go to the arcade and you still can't play it. You're still terrible at it because it was too easy in the home version. So I'm not sure I like 8 difficulty levels, but hopefully one of them is arcade-like. And then it says each character possesses at least 6 unique moves in addition to their already offensive and defensive moves. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm not sure what they're trying to say there. Play alone or head-to-head. And then you can see like some of the characters. There's Terry Bogard, obviously, who's like the, the Fatal Fury mascot, and he's now in Super Smash Brothers. And there's also Andy Bogard and Geese Howard, who I know is a bad guy. I don't know where you got a name Geese from, but that's his name apparently. And it says 10 original characters from the arcade game. I'm not sure how many characters there are in the arcade game, but hopefully there's only 10, and that doesn't mean that they took some out. But anyway, yeah, this is a game that looks like from 1998. It says here on the back, copyright 1985 to 1998. So this port seems like it was 1988. Anyway, without further ado, let's open it up. I usually check for its original shrink wrap. You can sort of tell it's very supple. It definitely is original shrink. There's no question in my mind. And it looks like this box opens at the top. So I'll open it at the top and leave the shrink on. This way, if I want to keep the shrink wrap on in my collection, I could do that. Although, typically with these CD-based games, for space reasons, I take out the jewel case, put it in a rack, and then I store the box flattened, which is still protected, but just this way I can just keep up some extra space in my room here. So I get a knife. I'm going to use it to cut this open. If I can figure out where it cuts. Looks like right here. Hopefully I won't stab myself or jog the camera, which is what I do like half the time. Whoops, for some reason it tore in a weird way. I guess I need a sharper knife. This knife was not good for this exercise. Usually I use my big Kahuna knife, and I couldn't find it today, so I decided to use this smaller one, but that may have been a mistake. But it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't need the thing to be on perfectly. The main thing is to get this game open so I can actually play it, which is the reason why games were made, not to be kept in shrink wrap forever, or to be sold, or to brag to people that you have some rare game. It's so you can play the game and have fun. That's the whole point. So what do we got here? We got a cardboard insert, which is usually what comes in these boxes. Let me pull that out. Oh, it actually opens up sort of nicely. Not much in here. This is sort of why they got rid of these big PC boxes, because there wasn't anything in them, really. I mean, to justify all that space. So I have a jewel case. I have some kind of errata card or something, and that's it. There's nothing else in there. So let's see what we got. This is just a generic Interplay troubleshooting guide. It's really nothing to look at. It folds open and it opens up, but it's not even specific to this game. It's literally a generic guide. I have this jewel case, which is not shrink wrapped, which is unusual. Usually they seal these as well. But you can see it has a nice side thing. On the back, there's some nice pictures. They could almost sell it separately. You open it up, you have the disc. And the disc looks unmarked. Definitely looks like it's a new game. And then inside we have a manual. And I really like this format, how they got the manuals in the jewel cases. Because again, I can flatten this box. There's nothing in it. There's no reason for me to have this huge box on my shelf, which only holds a jewel case, right? I mean, so I can flatten this out. I can put this on my rack. And then when I want to play the game, I have the manual together with the game. And the jewel case protects it really well. Although, wow, this manual really stinks. All it is Windows troubleshooting. There's literally no instructions. Oh, here, install instructions. That's it. But there's no instructions how to play or anything like that. which is a little bit disappointing. So maybe a cheap port, I don't know, we'll find out. I'm going to try to get some gameplay footage up, and hopefully you will see that shortly. And here we go with that.
Dark destiny once again outstretches its icy grip. The lone wolves are back! Road to the final victory.
So this is Fatal Fury 3 running on a PC. Now I'm using an Xbox One controller with Bluetooth, which I'm able to easily connect up to the PC in Windows 10. That's very easy. And I didn't have to do anything really to get this game to work either. I just had to basically run it off the CD and change the color depth from the regular 32-bit mode to 16-bit mode via compatibility settings. Once I did that, it worked fine. So let me try to play this thing. I'll pick Terry Bogard. I really don't know how to play this. I've never played it before. Looks like they let you pick a bunch of people to fight. I'll just take this guy, Bob Wilson, because it was already selected. He's a nice choice. There's some loading. It streams the music off of the CD, and so every once in a while it has to load. And I think you can play without the music, but obviously it's much more fun with the music. And again, I don't really know what I'm doing here, although I sort of figured out there's some special moves you can pull off if you press the right things, like there you go, there's one. But spamming special moves is not really going to win me the match most likely. In fact, this guy's kicking my butt right now. And I'm trying to, see, that's another special move you can pull off, and there's yet another one. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do, but they hardly do any damage to this guy anyway. I'm about to die. Let me try to actually fight him here. One thing I noticed about this game is you can actually, like, there's some special buttons to move into, like, the foreground or into the background as well. And it seems like that's how you have to sort of get some advantage on these guys, is by skillfully going to the foreground and the background at the right time. Alright, so now that I've played around with the controls, let me try to actually see if I can beat this guy. Probably by talking, I'm not going to be able to do it. Actually, this guy, I noticed, he's the hardest of all those four guys for Terry to beat for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe I just suck at it, but maybe it's just like the finesse or something like that. I had some good luck just walking into the foreground, and they're like kicking him from cheap spot or whatever. It seems to work pretty well, so I'll continue to do that. But like kicking this guy usually didn't seem to do too much. So I got fighting level B, which I guess means that I suck, but, you know, too bad. What can you do? I'll just see if I can try to beat this guy. Oops. He has sort of a nice move where he flips them. I probably all the same move, but see, I'm just trying to be cheap and go in the foreground and like get behind him and kick him. But it didn't work this time. This guy's kicking my butt. I guess you can't do the same thing more than a few times, otherwise they catch on to it. There you go, I flipped the guy. Okay, one more good shot on him and I should have him here. There we go. Alright, so at least I beat that guy. Fighting level C, but whatever. You know, it's a fun game. It's hard to tell how much it's like the arcade because I haven't played the arcade, so I don't really know if, you know, if the controls are exactly the same as the arcade, but it feels responsive. The graphics are good. The sprites are big. Obviously, you know, it sort of looks like the arcade as far as I can tell. And, I mean, the controller's not the best in terms of being able to pull off these moves, frankly. But I think that's the controller's fault and not the game's fault. Because when I tried a different controller, it worked a little bit better. But now I'm fighting this big Franco will bash you, and I'm sure he will bash me, because like I said, I'm no good at this game. But anyway, that's the idea. It seems like a good game, seems like a good port for what I can tell. But I've never played this in the arcade, so if anybody has played it and has some better ideas in terms of if it's actually a good port or not, I'd love to hear it. So please leave a comment and let me know if you played this game before, what your experience is, and what your experience is with the arcade game. And I definitely appreciate that. And if you like this, please subscribe and share it and like it and all that. And hope to see you in future videos. Have a really great day, everybody, while this guy kicks my butt.
Talk to you guys later.